Hey guys, what's up? I'm back. This time I'm going to talk to you about something you can do in your summer program to keep your scouting unit alive and well. So don't go anywhere. All right, so summertime is right around the corner, and I kind of noticed that some of the scouting units they're not very active during the summertime, and this could be for several reasons. Like you want to give the boys a break, you want to give the parents a break, or maybe it's just the summertime and you have a lot of families that are making plans to take their family vacations or taking their trips or going out of town. Um, Whatever the reason is that you're not having your regular DIN meetings or you're not really doing much during the summer. So, with that being said, sometimes scouts will lose interest in scouting and they may not want to come back that following school year. So, within your summer program, you have to kind of do some things to keep them involved in scouting. And so, I'm going to talk to you about one thing that you could think about, and to get your boys, to get your scouts, maintain them being active. So, during the summertime, have you thought about taking a day trip to Fort Leonard Wood? Let me just explain what Fort Leonard Wood is right quick. So, Fort Leonard Wood is a military installation, federal property, that is dedicated to the training to the brand new recruits that come in. So, we do have a BCT, basic combat training, that's kind of like your boot camp. And then when they get done, for some of them will stay here because we also have a few schools here for them. We have military police, we have engineers, we have chemical, and we also have some transportation. And it's not just the Army, but we have other branches coming in for the training as well. So that's Fort Leonard Wood. And Fort Leonard Wood is located in St. Roberts, Missouri. It's between Rolla and Lebanon, right off the I-44. Right. All right. So you're sitting down with your committee and you're talking about what can we do during the summer to keep our unit going. So you can bring up, hey, why not go to the fort? Why not go to Fort Leonard Wood, right? So what is going to be the wow factor for the scouters when we take them to Fort Leonard Wood? So I'm going to tell you about some of the stuff that you can do on Fort Leonard Wood that will really keep your really keep your scouters busy and occupied as they come here. So, number one, Fort Leonard Wood has a museum that is open to the public. And the museum is broken into three sections. You have a military police section, a engineer section, and you also have a chemical section. And you can easily get lost in this museum for 2.5 to 3 hours, right? And the best thing about this museum is it's open to the public and it's also free. It's free 99. It's free. The museum is a perfect opportunity to teach your scouters the history of our nation's fighting force right here. And as you exit the museum, right across the street, we have something called a vehicle yard. The vehicle yard has all types of military vehicles and aircraft that are they're not in use. They're just there as a static display set up, and they have information boards to explain what the vehicles are, what year they were used, what era, and again, it's another chance to teach our boys history. Um, and so you got the museum, you got the vehicle yard, and if you keep walking just a little bit further, everything's within walking distance. You can take them to visit a kind of like a mock setup of World War II barracks, and this is something very cool. Um, you can get a chance to see how the soldiers lived at the time during the mid 1940s during the World War II era. They have a whole little setup. It's very well maintained, um, and it's free. The World War II barracks are free. The vehicle yard is free, and again, the museum is free. So you won't have to spend much there. Another thing that when you do come to Fort Leonard Wood, um, we do have a we do have a bowling alley. We have a we also have a water park that sits next right to a mini putt putt, and also a small track for golf for go karts. So you got go karts racing, you got a water park, and you have a mini putt putt. Right, these are all conveniently located right next to each other. Okay. So what about eating? What can we eat on Fort Leonard Wood while we're there? So if you don't want to come here um, and have some type of meal plan, like you don't want to spend the day in the park, we do have some fast food joints that are here on the installation, like Burger King, Popeyes. We have a pizza shop. We have Qdoba, Mexican, kind of like Mexican food. There's a Starbucks. There's a Charlie's. Um, there's a kind of like a Chinese food place. There's a barbecue place, a really good barbecue, Dickie's, I think that's what it's called. And all of this is open for the public, right? You can just go in there, and if you want to get something for something to eat while you're here, just something to think about. Um, Another thing that you can do is um, you can take your scouters and visit a cave that we have on post, right, which is called Miller Cave. Miller Cave, it's conveniently located on Fort Leonard Wood. It's kind of a rough drive to get there, but once you actually go to the parking lot, and from the parking lot to the cave, it's really not that far. You can you can probably get to the cave within under 20 minutes. It's a very short hike, and the cave, it's a good opportunity to again teach the scouters about some of the how the cave has its own habitat, its own species, um, its own type of wildlife that uses the cave for its own environment or habitat, and um, but it's good. And the cave, guess what? Free. The Miller Cave is free, and we also have a golf course that's on base. We have a couple of springs as well. We have Stone Mill Spring, and we have Sandstone Spring, right? And these are all springs that, again, these are things that you can do while you're here. These are things that, as you're sitting down with your committee and you're thinking about it, you can say all these things and say, hey, if we do go here, we can do this. All these things are free. We just have to figure out these other things. Um, and I'm trying to think, what else do we have that you can. So I think that's pretty much a lot of the attractions that are on uh, Fort Leonard Wood. All right, so last thing we'll talk about is, and you're probably asking yourself, is I'm not in the military, I'm not retired, I'm just a regular civilian. How am I going to get on post to Fort Leonard Wood? So it's not that difficult. When you come on through the front gate of Fort Leonard Wood, you'll have to go to the visitor center. If you're 18 or older, you will need a photo ID or a driver's license. If you're driving a vehicle, you'll need proof of insurance and your registration. And you'll take all those documents up there. They may ask you, what is your business on Fort Leonard Wood? You just say, hey, I'm here with some scouters, we're just visiting. And they'll take the information, they'll verify it, and they will issue you a day pass. They'll give you a pass, and you'll be able to come on the installation. Now, if you were in the military and you retired or medically retired, and they gave you that special ID card, you don't have to do any of that. You just go up to the gate, you show them you're retired, your retired ID card, and you and everyone in that vehicle will just come on the installation. Um, but I'm so if you're considering coming here on Fort Leonard Wood, I'm really here to help you out. I'm gonna put my contact information, my email, in the description box of the video. So if you really want to come here, contact me. I'll be your point of contact here if you have any more questions. And maybe if my schedule is good and we're not doing anything, hey, I'll meet up and I'll be your tour guide or something to take you on. I'll take you everywhere so you're not really lost. Um, but um, but this is a great opportunity to that you can use it come here for the summer, especially if you've never been here, like if you've never been to the fort. Um, but and this is one of the good things about going to some of the training, at university or Wood Badge or Powderhorn, Baloo, or ALOT. You're meeting other scouters and you're networking. So um, so you can use me as a network to plan your trip. But that's pretty much it. I didn't want this to be a real long video. If you, like I said, my email will be here. Oh, and also, on my channel, I previously did videos on the museum tour and the vehicle yard tour, the World War II barracks tour, and also a separate video on a tour of Miller Cave. So I'm going to put those links in the description box as well if you really want to see, hey, I want to see what this museum kind of looks like, or I want to see what the cave looks like. And I'll put it there for you so you can take a look at it. But that's it. I'll see you guys later. Hit me up if you want anything, but other than that, I'll see you.